Welcome to Interchain FM, where we talk about everything crypto, interop, DeFi, and NFTs. Today, we have Angel Protocol with us. So, Angel is a global enterprise that leverages decentralized finance and helps charitable organizations in the world. Please help me welcome Angel Protocol. We have Chauncey in the house, Trevor, and Amanda. Hello, guys.
Hey, thanks for
Hello,
having
hello.
us.
Thank you so
Hello.
much for having us.
I'm super happy to have you guys, especially after knowing you guys now for so long and being in the space and so long is like like a year. Um, But yeah, how are you guys? Chauncey, thank you for hopping on. Um, you guys want to break down what Angel is? Let's start from there.
Gene, a year in crypto is like 10 years normally. And then when you transition from a bull to bear market, it adds another decade at least. So I'd say we're going on 20 years knowing each other now.
20 years is fair, yes.
But Angel's doing well, man. Obviously, everything with the markets and then the Terra network, it turned a lot of what were headwinds into, or what were tailwinds into headwinds. And, we lost a lot, but we've also been able to recover a lot. We're doing good with making charities whole, raise enough funds to make all of the charities' liquid funds entirely whole, and restore balances for 97% of charities altogether. So we've still got some fundraising to do on some of the larger charities, like the ones that were part of the Restore Earth campaign that you and the Terra community were so involved in. But yeah, we're looking forward to the future now. And how we build out Angel, build on our base of impact and this global network of NGOs that we fostered, the $6 million in donations we were able to raise, and really leverage that to expand into a broader impact economy where if you imagine you want to be involved in impact, you see that bad things are happening in the world. You want to make money, but you want it to actually go to a good cause, right? You can go to Angel Protocol and you can choose. You can choose whether you want to donate directly to charities and NGOs. You can choose whether you want to participate in governance and do grant funding and decide how to allocate grant money to different proposals. Or you can go into impact investing and you can choose between a variety of social entrepreneurs or impact DAOs that are building businesses, and you can actually invest in their success, give them the money they need to start their ventures, and then see actual returns from that. So you put your money to use doing real good in the world, and you get a return for doing so. And that's really the aligned incentive of win and help win.
Okay, so that was a lot there. That was a fully charged intro, and we appreciate it. So thank you so much. But here, let's break it down, right? Let's break it down for the people that don't know Angel. I know Angel was, thriving from like the mechanism of what was it, Anchor Protocol, and then you guys had your roots in Terra. But really, let's break it down even a little bit more, and let's start about. So I guess what got you guys into crypto? Like, how did you get started? And then at what point do you decide, okay, this is what I'm building, and and it feels right? Like, what made you make that decision?
Yeah, so I think we'll each have probably different answers here. For myself, I had spent about a decade in the corporate America world, working my way up through different GE global program management positions. And after a certain point, there's just a lack of fulfillment with that. And I was getting very intellectually invigorated by what was going on with DeFi and Web3, and it was causing me to just read and learn and be excited again about some of the possibilities of the world. And from there, the idea for Angel just really came across from these DeFi yields that were available, and the idea of, well, if we can just tap, the organizations that need it the most, these charities and NGOs around the world, into this kind of opportunity, it could provide them real financial sustainability. You just take that yield, you take a portion of it to compound the principal, you pay the rest out to them, and it creates this dynamic where someone can give once and give forever. And it was really that idea tweeted out to the world, and then a lot of people amplified it, brought support and visibility to it. The idea went into a hackathon, and the team has taken it from there. The team of Angel is so incredible, spread all over the world. We have paid contributors, unpaid contributors, volunteer efforts from all over. I'd say in total, there's probably about 25 people contributing to Angel on a regular basis. And not only are they based all over the world, they come from vastly different backgrounds, experiences. So some of our members, like Dr. Duffy Casey, he founded Global Brigades over 20 years ago, a multinational charity organization. So he knows that world inside and out. We have people like Sean Robinson, and recently Sagar Tandon has joined our team, who come from more of a social impact investing space. They've been involved in different fellowship programs for impact.
Can anyone help at any given point, or like how does one come across and decides to help? I know there's like the donation part, and then what about like just like donating your time, your resources?
So many ways, but I'm going to stop here because I'm just one voice of Angel, and I'm just talking about how incredible the team is. So I want to give Trevor and Amanda a chance to speak a little bit to their journey and how they got involved in Angel. And then it will answer your next question there, which the Angel Alliance really speaks to in ways people can get involved there.
Yeah,
let's get it.
Sorry, if you want to get involved, you can do what I did and just DM Chauncey and say, I'm here to help. And then get hooked up. But yeah, my background is in education. And then I also suffer from fear of missing out. So I've been involved in like research in crypto for a little over a year. And I was like, okay, I've come to the point where I need to be in this full time, and like it's taking over my life. So I need to like do it like with a mission involved. So I reached out to Chauncey and got connected with Trevor and Kevin, the other person on our team. So we run the Angel Alliance. I'm very happy to do so.
And Angel Alliance, so is that like a sub DAO, or what is Angel Alliance?
Do you want me to do this? Yeah. Okay. So the Angel Alliance is, I would say, a fork or like co-equal part of Angel Protocol. And we partner with different NFT projects, protocols, different Web3 entities, and form this really unique collaborative alliance to help fund charities. So we kind of take those funds and redirect them over to Angel Protocol, where all those charities benefit. So it's a really, really cool thing.
Yeah. I remember, so little I guess background here also for our listeners. My friends and I started an NFT project, and I guess that's how we're here now, right? And at the beginning, Chauncey is the one who opened the doors for us. He said, hey, welcome in. This is like the environment where we work in. This is like who you should talk to, right? Trevor was one of them back in the day. And yeah, we were able to get connected. We launched our NFT project. We donated a certain amount of proceeds, and that was actually like watermark for every single Terra project to collaborate with Angel Protocol. And they did fundraising. They did bidding for certain like rare one-of-one NFTs that they created for you guys. And it got a lot of support, right? So Trevor, talk to us. Angel Daddy. No, just kidding. Talk to us more, man. Tell us more. How else can we help you guys now?
Listen, Angel Daddy, come on, drop it out.
I hate that.
I'm changing that in my contact right now.
I hate that name might
That's
stick.
sticking.
I
That's sticking.
hope it doesn't. But Gene's good at yelling something into existence. So like I think it's just here to stay. I hope we forget. But yeah, and it makes you feel old. Like back in the day, it wasn't that long ago. It was like 8 or 9 months ago. But it's really crazy. Like the alliance, it started off as just like Anon Intern and Apollo wanting to donate 1% of their revenue. Apollo's a decentralized hedge fund that was really successful on Terra. I love those guys and their team. And like it kind of snowballed from there. And then we had like Gene and their amazing team at Hero see that and talk to us and donate 1% of their mint. And it just really snowballed out of control, honestly, to the point of like it was really hard to keep up with it. Like it's so crazy, the capacity and the drive for people to want to give and want to make a huge impact. So Hero donated. They said a portion of their mint. It was a lot of money. It was a lot of good things came from it. And like I think what we really learned through the Terra crash, I always reflect back on like what happened. It's like a lot of bad things happened, but we also learned like so much. Like we learned that we could erase middlemen or at least minimize them, right? So banks are a good example, right? And to leverage decentralized finance and DeFi tools to really make sustainable charity and social impact like a thing, right? We have charities that spend way too much of their time trying to raise money and like not enough time impact on the ground for their whatever their vertical is. And like we saw that we could fix that. Like and that's just with the endowments, right? An endowment manager costs $100,000 something like that a year or something, Chauncey, and that's still a gamble, right? And like charities can't afford that. They need to pay for things they need.
Yeah.
So,
sorry to interrupt. So give me a breakdown too, or give me some info, because so I don't know anything about the cost behind like a charity endowment or what you're mentioning. Like from a user perspective, I think that I just donate, right? So what was the problem? I guess like is there like some sort of problem solving you guys did there as well?
yeah, I mean, you want to speak to that? Chauncey looks like he really wants to talk about this. I can see him grin on his face. He's like,
It's one of my favorite topics.
I can see it.
And then also later down the road too, let's talk about how because you guys worked pretty much off of yields, from DeFi, but more specifically Anchor Protocol, that was 20%, and then of course after the collapse, you have to pivot, right? So let's also talk about how Angel is pivoting, and yeah, even talk about how it affected certain, I guess, channels of distribution, and just lay it all out for us. No worries, we'll ask any more questions in the middle. Thank you.
No, for sure. I can roll some of that all up in one, right? So with Anchor, it was a great yield source. It was never the only thing that we were intending to build around. So from the very earliest hackathon pitches for Angel, we had the intention to build multiple yield sources for our endowments. So it's really just accelerated that. And the actual thesis remains unchanged, that DeFi yields will always be better than traditional finance yields by eliminating the middlemen. So you get lower costs of services, and therefore you can actually transact in a cheaper way and get better yield. So for charities, that's always going to be part of the answer, right? They have a way to generate yield that will be better than traditional finance. But in terms of the problems you're addressing there, it is the charity and overall philanthropy and impact space is probably one of the industries most crying out for disruption from the power that Web3 brings, right? When you think of some of the issues with charity today, it's lack of transparency of fund flow. It is the inability to get involved with impact investing as a retail investor, right? If you have a company that's doing amazing things and you want to support them, there's no easy way for you to buy into that, right? You can't just go to your stockbroker and say, hey, let me do this. They might put you in some sort of ESG fund that invests in like Meta as a impact organization. And there's all kinds of issues that we can talk about with ESG investing. But, much simpler, bottom line. You want to make an impact. You don't have an easy way to do that as an individual today. You want to raise funds from all over the world. You don't have an easy way to do that as a charity today, or a social entrepreneur for that matter. So whether you're talking about the contribution side of it, of donating funds, investing funds, being involved in making grant decisions, there's barriers to entry for contributors on all three of those. On the other side, for creators, the ability to set up organizations like DAOs, to be able to govern them with token-based governance and set that up in different ways, to be able to tap into different yield sources and crowdfund from all over the world. These are all barriers to entry for social entrepreneurs and NGOs around the world. So on both sides of the equation, Web3 helps solve problems that exist today and make the whole process easier, more transparent, and more equitable.
Yeah, well, that's that. So those I guess are the underlying issues of that we don't know that NGOs and nonprofits face. And yes, I love how DeFi is and not just DeFi, but Angel Protocol itself is helping align donors. From my personal experience, I went to Guatemala to on a mission trip at a child's like orphanage, and it sounds horrible, but it is a beautiful place. These are kids that they're left behind. Either they're just left at the door, or they find them in the streets, like selling I don't know, like goods and so yeah, this place takes care of them. They take really great care of them. And I spent I spent like two weeks there a few years back, and it changed my life completely. And so then fast forward, we discover crypto, and then we discover Angel Protocol. And so I think I asked Trevor, I said, hey, how can we get this charity? I mean, they've been what is it, a 503c? Is that what it is? And
501c3,
yeah, for quite some time. And fast forward, I think when I checked like their donation, what do we call it, like their pool, they had upwards of like almost $10,000. And to me was like, I think I cried. I think I literally like teared up, because I couldn't believe it that through Web3 they were able to get such donation. And now also talk to me. So the donation, I think, how does it work? Like, how does Angel Protocol donate to a charity? I guess first, how does someone get in line, right, to receive a donation? And then how often does that happen? How is like money distributed? How is this, like, for example, this charity able to get like $10,000? And then were they actual dollars? Were they in the sense of like a stable token? Where was it crypto money? How does that work?
Yeah, so Angel is really an intermediary, a marketplace, a facilitator. We are not actual custodians of funds for charities. The charities set up their own wallets, then substantiate their own endowments using our smart contracts, and then they have their own fundraising page where they can accept donations in a variety of different cryptocurrencies. We're adding in fiat options for people to donate as well. But now, without having to hire a website designer, without having to pay anyone to facilitate payment transactions. And by the way, a lot of organizations that enable charities or similar organizations to accept crypto donations, they'll charge upwards of $2,000 just to get them set up. They'll take 3 to 5% of every transaction fee for processing costs. And we eliminate that. It is free to sign up. We don't take any cut of the actual donations themselves. So it makes it for frictionless fundraising. And it opens them up to a donor pool all over the world. So to do that, they just go to angelprotocol.io, click to register, fill out a form. And there's actually a automatic onboarding process that we're rolling out, so they can go through the whole process of providing their information, creating their wallet and endowment, all through the app. Up till now, we've been meeting with every charity one-on-one, explaining what Angel Protocol is. The most difficult step is really just having them create a wallet. And frankly, it's much, much easier than having them set up a bank account. You just walk them through how to set up the account, talk them through the OPSEC of protecting their seed phrase. Every account created on Angel is multi-sig by default, so they have that security built in. But yeah, we just make it easy, right? Humans are creatures of convenience. And so people will donate, people will create an impact if you make it easy for them. So that's both on the donor side of you just go to a page, you click a button, you donate. And on the charity side, you fill out a form, provide some information, and now share your fundraising link.
Yeah, and what powers that from the other side is the alliance, right? So, it's really snowballed into such a massive thing, and it kind of got out of control for a while, which is not a bad thing. And with the crash of Terra, we're forced to go cross chain, and like we don't the alliance spans like all ecosystems. Like now we're reaching out all the foundations, all the launch pads. And
I have a question. Were the donations based off of UST?
On Terra?
Were the recipients did they receive UST tokens, stable tokens, or yeah?
So the funds are all converted into UST on the charity's behalf. The actual contributions can be made in Ethereum, BNB, Bitcoin, and we handle the actual conversion process on their behalf.
Yeah,
what was converted to UST? No longer.
And I mean, without like stating the obvious, because the obvious is obvious. Regardless, the stable number, like you're saying that you guys had like a problem, was great. Like that is obviously what counts. There are things that are out of our capacity and limitation, and it's not like our fault. And yeah, you guys like go ahead, Trevor. It snowballed, and I remember seeing just like big numbers, and I'm like, wow. I'm like, let's go. Angel is killing it. I'm telling you, it became a watermark, a blueprint. Every single project was, I think, aligned with you guys in some way or form.
It was nuts. Every project that launched, it was like, I'd get DMs all day, and like on Twitter, on Telegram, on Discord, like, hey, how do we join? I'm like, you just decide to join. And then it was kind of figuring it out from there. And we wound up with, I think when I came in, we were at 60 or 70 projects. And like at its height, we were at like 100, 110, which is incredible. And these are, most of them were NFT projects donating 1% of their mint, but a lot of them are protocols that pledged like 1% of their revenue, anywhere from like 1 to 10%, sometimes more, which is crazy. Like that's a lot, but like it was all that really told us is that like there was a huge appetite for wanting to do good in the world. So it really kind of fell on, the whole organization to really figure out how to leverage, this incredible want to do good. So we have a bunch of money. It's all getting donated. It's getting put into Anchor, and it's being used to fund charities just in perpetuity. Like that's a great idea if Anchor doesn't fail, right? But we learned that lesson hard. But like even without a yield source, it doesn't really matter because you can still do the same things. You can still donate. You can still make an impact. You can still figure out like how you want to impact and how much you want to impact. So that's really awesome. And now we're, like I said, we're on every chain now, extending to every chain, donations on every chain. So we can really kick this thing into overdrive because like I think we were restricted by being on one chain, and now it's just like, why? So lots of exciting stuff coming.
It was a good practice, to start on one chain, see what works, see what doesn't, and now go multi-chain. So multi-chain means everything: Ethereum, Solana. I mean, anything that we can think of, Cosmos. Okay, so I have another question. So as far as um users joining the Angel Alliance, so is there anything that you guys need help with right now? Because essentially you guys are kind of like rebuilding, right? So everything that you had, you have a protocol itself that I for sure want to talk more about, but yeah, I want to see you guys in the Cosmos spaces. I want to see you guys on Stargaze with these NFT projects. Pretty much that blueprint that we had created. I want to see it back in Angel and in Cosmos. So yeah, how do we go about that? Do you guys do like door knocking? Are you guys kind of just waiting right now for people to approach you guys, or
Waiting.
how do we connect the dots?
Please.
When the going gets hard, you hustle harder. Amanda has been kicking ass and taking names. She's been reaching out to Angel Alliance partners, helping keep those bridges open. Angel itself has been building on. We are going to be ready to relaunch the charity marketplace within about a month here. And then we've actually got the whole coding for our Angel 2.0 ecosystem of impact available too. So that'll be going live before long. And that's actually an inclusive impact toolkit. So you can create a DAO, generate your own token to govern that DAO, choose what method you want to handle your governance voting, be able to leverage all of the endowment investment capabilities and programmable DeFi funds that we've built for the charity side. So if you have an interesting idea of a way to change the world, you can now go create an organization, crowdfund, govern it, have everything you need, and be available in a discoverable impact marketplace. So we're really excited about all that. So no, sir, we have not been waiting. We are progressing on. And I mean, Amanda, how many new Angel Alliance members have we signed up just in the past month or so?
Yeah, at least 7 or 8. I talk to numerous people daily, just either reaching out or circling back around with people who have been like, wow, I've like really been struggling, but glad to know you guys are still there. Like, let's do something. So it's been really cool to see a lot of really positive things come out of the Terra crash, because for a while it looked really, really dark, but yeah, we're moving forward and a lot of people are interested.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm definitely inspired right now, and I want to go full Angel, blue hat on, with my wings and everything, and yeah, talk to the Cosmos community space and see how how we can alliance and make this a bigger impact together. Now, Chauncey, you touched on so what you touched on previously about creating a token and a DAO. So that's accessible for users?
Yeah, literally anyone. So angel growth funds, that's kind of the term that we're giving them. There's definitely a focus on impact, right? That'll always be where our heart and goal is. And any angel growth fund created, actually, any fees associated with that actually go back to the charity market that we talked about. So anyone using an angel growth fund simply by using them helps contribute to impact. And we will be gearing it towards social entrepreneurs, impact DAOs, but you can do it for literally anything, right? So you could set up, let's say you have a cousin who's born tomorrow, and you could set up a fund for Jean's cousin. And you can program it so that anyone from the family or broader can contribute to the fund. And you can have it disperse money to your cousin at different milestones. Like maybe
almost like a GoFundMe kind of?
Yeah. Wait, what's up?
Is it almost like a GoFundMe?
A GoFundMe, yeah, you can use it for crowdfunding for sure. So crowdfunding is one definitely applicable case. I'm thinking so you could also use it for education trusts or different things that you want to set up for your family for, as they grow older. So some people will set up like college funds for their children. You could do that. You could use it as a 401k retirement tool, right? But again, it's really focused on impact, whether you want to do it as a single individual, a group of your friends, a collective of thousands of people, that can all be accommodated through the same structure.
That is pretty cool. I didn't know Angel offered that, and yeah, it's amazing. I myself would love to. So you guys already contribute to another group of my friends. So they install water filtration systems for evolving countries like Cambodia and Africa, Southern Africa, and yeah. But see now, if we can operate kind of like as a DAO inside Angel's platform, that takes it to the next level. Which okay, it's next level talk. So this podcast really, so Chango does an amazing job at going very detailed with tech and everything. I'm like the other side of it, but let's dive into it, right? So you guys have a token. You guys are a protocol. Can we talk some tech here? Like what exactly is built here? The website is like like maybe like it's a 2.0, but everything that's smart contract is based off of Cosmosm. Is there anything interoperable there? Talk to me about that. Talk to me about how I guess you're using in this case smart contracts and Web3 and how you build some of that. Can we do that?
100%, man. So this is what's awesome, right? Because the space is evolving so quickly, and there's so many different types of opportunity out there. And one lesson learned from the whole Terra collapse was diversification, right? We don't want to put all of our eggs in one basket. So the Cosmos IBC ecosystem is critical, right? So we're really focusing on having a hub there. We're also building out a hub on an EVM compatible chain. So what this will allow us to do is create one front end that includes both of those hubs. From those different hubs, we can easily build out connections to different yield sources. So let's say on both sides of it, let's say for sake of discussion, we launch our hub on Juno. We can still build out yield sources to Osmosis, to Astroport, to wherever we want from that Juno hub. That Juno hub can also be connected to, again, for sake of discussion, let's say a Polygon hub. That Polygon hub could then tap into yield sources from a variety of different EVM compatible chains with its own bridging. By keeping those two bridges, or the bridge between those two hubs, and then the spokes of different yield sources from each hub, it allows our users to tap into the full range of blockchain yields and the different types of opportunities there. So on certain chains, you've got better stablecoin farming opportunities. On other chains, you have better structured products of delta neutral, put call type options. And so really depending on the type of chain, depending on what you're going for. And one thing I'll highlight that's really, really cool is this evolving area of bringing off-chain lending on-chain. And when I say this, I mean like they have these development funds, right? So they have like an Africa Innovation Fund as an example. And so people will put money into this fund and they earn actual yield off of that. So you are providing money that spurs development in emerging markets, which creates its own impact, and earning yield off of that. And so groups like Goldfinch and Centrifuge are pulling these real world loans on chain, which allows them to be tokenized, allows them to be liquid, allows people in the DeFi markets to participate in these real world yields. So this is cool because it's a diversification and it's also impact based. So you can have something on Curve that's getting stablecoin yield. You can have something on Thetanauts that's giving you structured products with calls and puts. You can have something through Centrifuge that's earning you yield off of real world lending opportunities. And as a charity NGO on our charity marketplace, as an impact DAO social entrepreneur creating an angel growth fund, you now have a selection of all of these different yield sources. And they'll have their own ratings in terms of the risk and volatility, and people will be able to make their own decisions of how they want to earn yield on their funds. But that will be by nature very, very multi-chain.
Is that something it's accessible right now?
Not yet. So the actual code has been built out. We still need to do additional testing and audit work on that.
This brings me to the next question. There is a Halo token. What is the current development on the Halo token? And also, why launch a Halo token? I sure did, have or still have tokens. So, yeah, just full disclosure.
Yeah, absolutely. So first, in terms of the existing Halo token, what's happening with that, we took a snapshot with our friends from Flipside Crypto of the Halo balances for everyone just before the actual Terra crash. And we're using that to make users whole when we relaunch the token. We'll probably take our time relaunching the token and wait a few months on that. So get the protocol back up and running, launch the token following that. But the reason for the token is really integral to Angel Protocol and our overall ethos. So I'd say two key things I'd highlight is one, incentive alignment. You can use it as a mechanism to drive the right kinds of behavior and outcomes you're seeking. So from a donor perspective, you can donate to a charity. You actually receive Halo in return for donating. So the majority of Halo supply is marked for this donation matching program, where when you donate, you actually get Halo and skin in the game. That Halo you receive is automatically staked to the charity or impact organization you're donating to. What this does is it drives its own yield based on the revenue from the protocol. So you now have a stake in the charity or organization you donated to automatically by virtue of donating. That is actually split between you as the contributor and the recipient beneficiary organization. So let's say you donate $10 to Trevor's Angel Daddy Foundation. When you donate $10 to the Angel Daddy Foundation, you receive $1 back in Halo, which gets split between you and Angel Daddy. Now, you each have staked Halo that receives benefit from the yield of that endowment. So right. You as a donor are now receiving this new income stream from your donation, but you have aligned skin in the game stake to raise funds and help promote and fundraise for Angel Daddy wherever you can. Meanwhile, on the Angel Daddy side of things, you are incentivized to be as transparent and open with your community as possible. Because the more you share and the more you reciprocate that, the more people want to stake to you and curate you as a charity. When people stake Halo to a charity, it raises their profile on the charity marketplace, so they're more easily discoverable. It also increases the amount of automatic funding they receive from the Angel Alliance. So when people donate into the Angel Alliance, those funds are pooled for impact. And they're distributed to charities based on how much Halo is staked to them relative to the size of their endowment, as well as used for social impact grants. And that's really the second piece of the Halo token, which I think is really, really key, is that ownership and having an actual voice for yourself in how grant funding gets distributed. So this makes it a participatory thing where for governance for Angel Protocol, it's not just voting on parameters of how the protocol runs or electing boards, because we will have an elected representation in governance, but it's also having a participatory voice in both submitting grant proposals. So I have a project that wants to drill wells in Africa. And I can now submit a grant proposal to the Angel Governance Forum and say, look, if I get $10,000, I can do this pilot program, prove this out. These are the milestones for funding. You as a Halo holder can now vote on that impact grant and decide where that impact money goes, to what initiatives. So it allows people to take part in impact and it makes it participatory, Whereas so much of the problem with philanthropy and impact investing today is it's disconnected, right? You put your money in, maybe something good happens without on the other side. You're not directly involved in that. With this, you get to vote on where impact money goes and get reporting back on how that impact funding is used and the outcomes of that. And that's where I think it gets really exciting and really pulls people in.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely, definite reason of participating as a DAO and having more ownership of your funds and knowing where they go. So this is like charity endowments and donations simplified in Web3. I love it so much, and it's very modern too. So I think we're definitely like into something here. What are some like big competitors? Is there like some sort of not competitors, right? But is there like someone else doing this within the space that maybe you guys are learning from, or are there a lot of like I guess charity protocols out there, like any other angel protocol knockoffs? No, just kidding.
Our mantra is out collaborate the competition. So really, we've taken an abundance mindset with it. There's so much room in the impact space. Are there other organizations that help with fundraising? Yes. Are there other organizations interested in leveraging Web3 for positive good and impact? Yes. Are we close friends and allies with as many of those organizations as possible? 100%. There's really no one that I think occupies like a direct competitor role. There's a lot of protocols that we want to work with to achieve both of our goals. And it really
what
is
are some of those protocols, Chauncey? They might hear this and this might be it.
100%. So some of those are Popcorn is one interesting example where they do DeFi yield for good. So we recently had a call with them talking about joint venture possibilities of tapping into them for impact oriented yield and having angel listed on their platform. I would highlight Gitcoin overall as an amazing organization. They've really been leading this public goods funding work stream in crypto. And they've also been helping drive this green-pilled regen movement and this mapping of impact DAOs. Kevin Owecki, Scott Moore, the whole team over at Gitcoin, Ben West, really, really great people all around. And they're just driving the right kind of attention in this space. Dream DAO is a really interesting organization focused on Gen Z, upcoming builders for Web3. People who show a lot of promise and are still, early in their journey. It provides them incubation, mentorship, networking opportunities. And some of those people have gone on to do amazing things. Like Al Borda ended up working on this whole impact DAO cartography movement, mapping over 100 impact DAOs all over the world, putting them in different categories, doing a connection map to show like how followers of those different impact DAOs like all connected. There's so many to name, and now you're going to put me in a spot to like lead people out. Like endowment, Robbie Hager and the whole endowment group is great. They do Ethereum based funding, more like a DAF type vehicle there. Giveth, they've been long in the space doing a lot of good for fundraising for important causes. So honestly, the more impact DAOs I hear about, the more inspired I am. And you go into these groups and there is no bear market. There's just a build market. People are passionate. They're carrying on. And, depending on what crowd you're in, you wouldn't even know that the market is down.
Yeah, let's go. Well, you guys are, doing, God's work. Is that why it's called Angel, or why is it called Angel?
Angel was actually suggested by someone on Twitter when the original idea came out, and I had the absolutely awful idea name of the gift ... that keeps on giving. And someone was like, why don't you call it Angel Protocol? And I was like, That's a much better name. That's the real origin of Angel. It's funny that you mentioned that, though, because we were actually just having a call as a team last week about the different NFT and kind of soulbound token reputational elements we want to build into Angel. On this idea of having like an Angel avatar on the site where you can get different unlockables and accessories based on different types of contributions, of donating and impact investing and taking part in governance and, you know, fundraising for charities, all that good stuff. But it was funny because as we were brainstorming some of the different like designs and things, you know, it was things like earning a halo and angel wings, like a flaming sword. And someone was like, you know, is this getting a little bit heavy on like the Christian New Testament mythology of things? I'm like, yes, let's backtrack a little bit because I do want to highlight, right? Angel is inclusive. We are not a theological, religious or aligned organization. We respect all faiths. We help, you know, we encourage all faiths. We do have some charities some churches that use Angel as endowments, but we are very much agnostic on that front and welcoming of all participants from everyone in the world. So just want to highlight that Angel is not inherently, you know, a religiously charged kind of thing, but really just refers to the broader angels and all of us who are trying to uplift each other. And that's something that you'll find across different theologies.
So we have about 15 minutes left. I want to run 5 more minutes into just drill down some questions and then we'll like continue to freestyle. So you were kind of talking about like a sort of composability of you know, like a character there. Heads up, Osmosis, NFTs, or at least Osmosis is building a marketplace where you can do that. One, remind me to connect you with them, and then 2, so the Halo token. So where exactly, like, would it fit on Osmosis, for example? And does it make sense, right, to for example add the Halo token to Osmosis?
100%. I think that makes perfect sense. So more to come in terms of where we're going to be relaunching Halo in terms of the primary token, but I would fully imagine it to be tradable on Osmosis eventually for sure.
Cool. And then last question. Does it make sense for you guys to launch as your own like dApp chain on like the Cosmos ecosystem?
Yes. So I think that Jake Hartnell from Juno put this best in a recent podcast interview he did when he was asked about Juno and how he feels about, you know, all of these different dApps launching their own chains now and whether that, you know, detracts from Juno. And he highlighted it best. He was like, Juno is the launch pad for protocols to develop and mature so that they can launch their own chains, right? That's not a bad thing when a protocol goes and does that. That's what Cosmos is built for. So if you come and start on Juno and prove your traction and prove out and then take that traction and go launch your own app chain, all the better for the ecosystem. And I think it's been super impressive watching certain groups like Kujira do this. Like, when I first heard that they were, you know, leaving Terra to launch their own app chain, I was just almost in disbelief. I'm like, how does this work? Is this possible? Is this something they can pull off? And not only did they pull it off, they just excelled. And they're continuing to innovate on so many fronts. And they're also longtime Angel Alliance members, as is Hero, as are a number of our different partners finding homes here. So it's exciting, man. It's really, really exciting. And I think that the idea of Angel, not even Angel, let's say the Angel Alliance having its own app chain would be really, really cool. And having some kind of consistency in culture where anyone who builds on that chain effectively joins the Locked for Good program, donates a portion of their token supply to this sort of like communally chain-owned impact fund. I think there's a lot of exciting potential with that. Not our next move, but a move down the road.
Can you put that task into ClickUp for me so I'll do it? I'll just do it if it's
High priority.
Let's listen to the angel daddy.
I don't want that.
If it ain't in ClickUp, it didn't happen. That's our running operational.
I made a meme for our head of ops because of that, I think. But yeah, there's so much that we can do. And it's not about our chain versus that chain, or this chain is better than that chain. It's always it should always be about how we like collaborate and like work together to like get where we want to go. I think like we agree on like 80 to 90% of things, maybe more, like all the chains. Like we need to fix this stuff. We need to fix the world. There's a lot of inefficiencies, and there are archaic rails and archaic systems and all these things. We know everything's broken. We just have accepted that you can't do anything about it, and now we can. So the whole Web3 thing, jumping into Web3, it's like now I can finally do stuff that's important. It was really, really eye-opening to like get engaged. Like I've only been in this industry for a short time, like building, but like we've done some stuff. We've done a lot of crazy things in a short amount of time, and I think we need to be idealistic, but also like temper our expectations a little bit. Tara, much, yeah. It'll be exciting to see where we go.
Which okay, so one question we haven't asked, and I'm just particularly like just curious, how does someone from like how do you guys get paid?
So that's a sore point. Many people on the team do not get paid.
Right? Like,
so we're doing this now.
I'm joking. The revenue model for Angel is based on the yield from the actual endowments, and then Angel Growth Funds. There's going to be different yield components to that as well. But Trevor and Amanda are laughing because they have been loyal volunteers for the Angel Alliance for some time now, and they do it for the love, they do it for the passion.
Yeah.
So. When paid is a valid question here.
Yeah, no, exactly. Look at it. Look at the question, right? Like, I mean, there is so much that you can do as far as donation or putting like a number to that, or putting time into it, and time nowadays is money, and so it's definitely a question. I think that you guys should get paid. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, so hear me out. 1 second. I had this lady that took me out to Guatemala's like charity organization. She said everyone that serves, especially like the lady, like the main mom that takes care of all the kids, they're into high stress mode, right? Everyone that builds is high stress, and Amanda, I saw you turn off the camera. She's probably laughing too much.
I'm crying.
And so
sorry.
I guess what I'm saying is that you guys should be treated too. Essentially, her dream was to open up like kind of like a spa kind of like relax center in southern Mexico, and like Isla Mujeres and Cancun. So she could take all these builders to the resort and just treat them. So I don't know, maybe like
stop getting ideas in their heads.
Yeah, I know.
No.
Like
honestly though, what you're highlighting, so first and foremost, Amanda prefers to be paid in merch. So the osmosis shirt you're wearing, any hero merch, anything you got, send it over to her. She deserves it. But seriously though, you're really touching on an important point, right? Nonprofits and charities in general are saddled with such a unfair set of expectations, right? It's you shouldn't have any overhead, and all money should go directly to the causes you're supporting. So anything you spend on yourselves is bad, and we're going to look on that negatively. Then, talking out of the other side of their mouths, the same people will say, charities are inefficient. They don't work well like a business. They're not good with protecting their runway and all this stuff. It's like, you don't let them. You say they can't operate like a business if you're going to respect them, and then you say you don't respect them because they don't operate like a business. And the idea of, you know, a CEO for some big, you know, profit-seeking company making millions of dollars, and for charity workers to be making pennies on the dollar because they're in the impact space, because they're working for the social good, is horrible, right? It's just poor incentive alignment. So I completely agree with you. I think that that we need to get people paid fair wages. And so on that front, Angel's hosting a round. So any investors interested, give me a call.
There you go. They need to get paid. Well, that was a joke, though, right? That was a joke because we gotta.
I'm
Yes.
I'm
Yes
lucky
and no.
that. Yeah, I mean, the alliance has always been kind of like, you know, you had me and you had Kevin there, and you know, we work on other things like, you know, Angel. We love Angel. Like, that's, how can you not? How can you not want to engage? So, yeah, you know, we do a lot of this work for free, if not all of it, I guess, for now. But like, you know, we're lucky that we get to do other things. You know, I have my own protocol. I work on a bunch of other projects. I advise on a bunch of projects, and like, Angel is just so amazing. Like, how can you not want to get engaged? So earlier you asked, like, how do you even get engaged? You can come to the Discord. You can DM me. You can DM Amanda. You can even DM Chauncey. Chauncey loves to respond to personal DMs. Just DM Chauncey, actually.
Don't push that on him.
He has so much
It's
fun.
not like a joke, but I do.
Yes,
I respect
yes.
every DM.
He has so much fun responding to everybody. I mean, we all do, because we love this. You know, it's a different, not a kind of people, but it's a different. They're in a different point of their lives. I think we all have a massive capacity to do good and to want to, you know, give charity. But like, when the crash happened, like, it blew my mind that we talked to the charities that like their funds got like wiped out, and their first question was, "How are you doing? And can we help?" And that made me want to, like, what is that? You know, that just kind of tells you, like, we're all just gonna kind of like, we're all in this massive like circular, like, help each other, to the point of like, I hope, I don't know, it's really awesome to see. I don't know if there's words
been
for
one
it.
of the
Chauncey
most
might be able to.
affirming, empowering things. The
It's
charities
crazy.
have been so supportive throughout this. Like, people ask us all the time, like, how did they react with the Terra crash, losing the UST, all of that. And again, we've made a lot of efforts to make the charities whole, restore a lot of those funds. But throughout that process, even when our ability to do that was very uncertain, they have just professed, you know, belief in the vision and the mission, wanting us to continue on, seeing how they can be supportive of that. And we have about 8 charities waiting to sign up when we relaunch. So that to us has just been validation that Angel is something that the world desperately needs.
Okay. Okay. We've now been live for 58 minutes. They've gone by pretty fast. Thank you for, you know, just for your time, for explaining, you know, how the wings behind Angel work. Is there anything else you guys want to add? Amanda, you were the last one there to laugh. Do you want to close it with a thought?
I would just say that if anyone wants to get involved, the Alliance, with any help, just shoot Trevor or I a DM, and we can, you know, put you to work. But seriously, like, we have a lot of fun, and that's part of what drew me to the Alliance and just reaching out to Angel Protocol. So it's a great place, and I love it. And yeah, send merch my way though.
At Angel Alliance _. You can DM directly.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, and this will be, you know, it's recorded, so anyone that's wondering, they'll be able to watch it. Alrighty. Thank you guys again. Thank you guys for having me, kinda. And I'm super happy. And let's connect a lot of dots for Angel. If you're watching, if you're listening, please reach out to them. You want to be a part of them. So thank you again. Have an amazing day, guys.
Thank you so much for having us, man.
Bye.
See you, Gene.
Bye.